Hey everyone, Dr. Kem here with Kimura Studios, and we are jumping right into our explainer on an absolute heavyweight in organic chemistry, benzoic acid. Whether we're talking about food preservation, synthesizing brand new pharmaceuticals, or working in massive industrial manufacturing, this is one of the most important aromatic carboxylic acids in existence. Today, we're going to explore not just what it is, but exactly how we can manipulate its physical properties to purify it.
Here's the agenda for today's explainer. 1. The profile of benzoic acid. 2. Solubility and safety basics. 3. The principle of recrystallization. 4. The purification procedure. And 5. Evaluating crystal purity.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the profile of benzoic acid.
So when we look at the molecular structure of benzoic acid, C7H6O2, it's kind of like a molecule with a split personality. On one side, you've got that aromatic benzene ring. That part is highly nonpolar and hydrophobic, which is exactly what gives it such low water solubility. But then, attached right to it is the polar carboxyl group. That's the part giving the molecule its acidity and its critical hydrogen bonding capabilities. And that structural duality, well, that's exactly what we're going to exploit a bit later.
Because of that exact structure, we get some pretty specific foundational stats. In its pure form, it's this colorless to white crystalline solid. Now pay close attention to its melting point. It's super sharp right at about 122.4 degrees Celsius. It also has a boiling point around 249.2 degrees and a pKa of 4.2 in water. Honestly, that pKa value is incredibly important because it dictates how the compound behaves in chemical reactions, especially when it forms much more soluble benzoate ions under basic conditions.
Moving right along to Section 2, Solubility and Safety Basics.
Okay, the real magic is right here in these numbers. Just look at the dramatic shift. Benzoic acid is only sparingly soluble in cold water. I mean, at 0 degrees Celsius, you're only dissolving a measly 1.7 grams per liter. But crank up the heat, and the entire story changes. At 100 degrees Celsius, near boiling, it becomes highly soluble, taking in over 56 grams per liter. This wild, temperature-dependent solubility curve, that is the exact thermodynamic engine driving the purification technique we're about to dive into.
But hey, before we apply any heat or even think about handling this compound, we have to respect the chemistry. Looking at the safety data sheet, the health hazard and corrosive warnings are a stark reminder that benzoic acid is definitely not benign. It causes severe skin irritation and serious eye damage. Under the right conditions, it can even form combustible dust concentrations in the air. So proper protective equipment, we're talking gloves, goggles, and a well-ventilated workspace, is absolutely mandatory, every single time.
So how do we actually clean it up? That brings us to Section 3, the principle of recrystallization.
The technique we rely on here is called recrystallization, and it is just an elegant solution. It all boils down to finding a solvent that readily dissolves your target compound at really high temperatures, but barely touches it at room temperature. Because like dissolves like, finding that perfect Goldilocks solvent is honestly a bit of an art form. For benzoic acid, water is an excellent choice, thanks to that incredibly steep solubility curve we just looked at. The basic idea is that as your hot, saturated solution cools down, the pure crystals slowly reform out of the solution, systematically locking out any impurities.
Notice the incredible geometry of slow cooling happening here. As the temperature drops down nice and slow, the pure molecules represented by those orange hexagons steadily build a perfect, highly ordered crystal lattice. Now, if an impurity, like those differently shaped yellow triangles, tries to sneak into the lattice, it just doesn't fit the geometry. So it gets kicked right back out, remaining dissolved in the surrounding solvent, which we call the mother liquor. Basically, patience yields absolute purity.
Conversely, look at what happens when you rush things. If you cool the solution too rapidly, actually scratch that. Let's say you just plunge a piping hot flask straight into an ice bath. Those yellow triangle impurities don't even have time to be excluded. They literally get trapped right inside the quickly forming lattice. And that completely ruins the purity of the product. The molecular structure just becomes chaotic and flawed.
Okay, let's take this theory over to the benchtop. Section 4, the purification procedure.
When you actually run this physical procedure, precision is everything. Starting with our crude, impure solid in an Erlenmeyer flask, the absolute most critical technical step is adding only the bare minimum amount of near-boiling solvent required to dissolve it. If you get heavy-handed and use too much solvent, your target compound is just going to stay dissolved even when it's ice cold, completely wrecking your final crystal yield.
The procedure demands strict adherence to these 5 steps. First, dissolve it in that minimum hot solvent. Second, do a hot filtration if you have solid impurities that flat out refuse to dissolve. Things like sand or dust. Third, and this is vital, leave it alone. Allow for that crucial, slow, undisturbed cooling right on the benchtop so it can build that perfect lattice. Fourth, once crystals have actually formed at room temp, shock it in an ice bath to maximize your yield. And finally, isolate the crystals using vacuum filtration, making sure you only wash them with ice-cold water. You definitely don't want to accidentally redissolve your perfectly purified product.
Finally, the moment of truth. Section 5. Evaluating crystal purity.
Once your recovered crystals have spent about a week drying on a watch glass to remove any lingering solvent, we test our success by finding the melting point. Remember that perfectly ordered lattice of orange hexagons? Well, because it's so perfectly ordered, it takes a very specific, uniform amount of thermal energy to break it apart. So pure benzoic acid will melt sharply right around 122.4 degrees Celsius. But if those yellow triangle impurities are still trapped inside from a botched, rapid recrystallization, they'll disrupt the intermolecular forces. That causes the melting point to drop and broaden out into a sloppy range, maybe something like 118 to 122 degrees. Ultimately, a sharp melting point is the undeniable signature of a pure compound.
And, this really highlights the true power of chemistry. Understanding how molecular structure dictates physical properties empowers us to manipulate those exact properties in our favor. We literally leverage temperature and solubility to force a molecule to purify itself. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Based on what we just explored, what other essential compounds in our world, from life-saving pharmaceuticals to advanced materials, are just waiting to be purified using these exact same thermodynamic principles? Thanks for hanging out for this Chemera Studio Explainer. Keep asking questions and keep exploring the molecular world.